Hello, and welcome to this training about journaling. So this is a journal outline. This is going to help you if you have a journal practice, but you want a little bit more direction, or if you're wanting to start a journaling practice, but you don't really know where to start. So we're going to talk about what you need, when to do this, and the journal framework that you can use. I like to have a framework. I think it's important, anything that you're starting out in life, to have some sort of training wheels, something that's going to set you off in the right direction. So then at some point you can take off the training wheels. You can take this any which way that you want, but I think having a framework is going to help you get started before you just try to make it your own. So what do you need? Find a small journal. I would definitely recommend a small journal. This is my journal, really small. The pages are small, and I've noticed in the past when I've had like a really big notebook that I'm almost overwhelmed. I have to write to fill out the page. So by having smaller pages, it makes me feel more accomplished, but also limits any like anxiety around trying to fill out the whole page. And it helps me realize that this doesn't have to be a long practice. It's just the opportunity to write something briefly and go through this framework that I'm going to explain. I want you to create the optimal space as well. So I would recommend putting headphones in. I really like using headphones and playing some soft music just to kind of dive deep and not worry about the things that are going on around me. Also, find the space that's going to work best for you, like in your house. I like to do this at my desk. I have a lamp right here. I'm not in front of the TV with other things on. So having the optimal space where you know that this is like your safe space for you to kind of dive deep and write anything that's on your mind. So creating the optimal space can be different too. Like I don't just practice at my desk all the time. I also practice when I'm going to the coffee shop. If I'm going to work on something, then I still create an optimal space by trying to limit having a lot of things on the desk or on the table if I'm at the coffee shop, putting in my headphones and diving deep. So when to practice? Practice the time that works best for you. That's really general, but you're going to see that your practice varies as you go through this. And there are like two areas that I recommend people start. You can start in the morning. It's just a great way. If you wake up with a lot of anxiety or stress about the day, this is really important for you. I think it will really help you by just like taking 5 to 10 minutes in the morning to sit down and journal and go through this framework that I'm going to explain. The other thing that you can do is do this in the evening. So maybe you don't have time in the morning, but you can create time in the evening before you go to bed to go to your space and to just write and maybe even reflect on the day. So let's just start going through this framework. I'm going to make this as simple as I can. The first step is to free write for 5 minutes. So this is the start of the journaling session. Set a timer. That's been really helpful for me in the past, knowing like, okay, it only needs to be 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be 10 or 15 minutes. It can be a short practice. But this is also known as a brain dump. So I like to call it a brain dump as a period for me to like get anything that's in my brain, put it on a piece of paper so that it's there and I don't have to worry about it. So as you write for 5 minutes, some examples you can write, like this is what I wrote. I feel a little overwhelmed with the amount of work I have to do today. I continue to worry about getting everything done on time. And you can continue to write here. What are the things that you're worried about? What are the things that you have to do for the day? You can also write about, any stressors too. Maybe it's not related to work, but a conversation that you had with someone and an experience that you had in the past. Write that down and start working through it. Another example for free writing too, especially if you're going to do it in the evening, like I was saying, is just to reflect on the day. What did you do today? What do you want to remember for the day? Um, and then as well, if you're like, okay, I'm not stressed out or anything, I don't really know what to think, just sit down and just write anything that's on your mind. Maybe you have some exciting things coming up, you can write about those as well. So after you write for 5 minutes, create a little bit of space at the bottom of your page to write down 3 things you're grateful for. So some examples here. I'm grateful for waking up this morning, for fresh air, and having a clean apartment. So this is what I wrote today. When I woke up, I was just in a really good mood. I woke up this morning. I slept last night with the windows open, so it felt really good to have that fresh air. And I just moved into a new apartment, so it's just really nice having a clean apartment. Really practice gratitude. This is like really important for you to continue to live a happy and healthy life by taking time to notice the things that you're grateful for. Because as we go through life, it's easy to notice the things that aren't going well for us or the things that we're stressed about. By taking time to step back and notice what you're grateful for, it's going to help you get into that positive mood and positive state. As far as gratefulness goes or gratitude goes, like I challenge you just to write something different each day. Try not to have it be basic. I challenge myself just to write things that I don't normally think about, but it can be small. I'm grateful for caffeine because it's helping me feel, excited and energized to go through the day. Something small. I think that's a really great starting point. Then the next thing to do is to have an intention for the day. So I like to end myself with an intention. Some examples are to stay in the present moment or practice slow breathing when I feel stressed. Something that you can kind of keep in the back of your mind as you go through the day that will help you as you go through the day. So it's a reminder for you to come back to. If this is something that you're going to practice in the evening, you can still have an intention for the day or something that you want to remember from the day. So that can be something simple, right? Like an experience that you had, or it can be even an intention for tomorrow. Tomorrow, I just want to be a little bit more focused and more present. So let's just go over this. Some action steps. Figure out what you need. So get a journal, create the optimal space, and find out where to practice. Then the third thing is just to practice the journaling framework. Like I said, these are the training wheels for you to start moving in the right direction. And you can make this your own practice. But I think it's really helpful to have some direction or have a framework that you can start working through before you try to go and make this your own. So I hope this helps. Please feel free to reach out. Like if you have any questions about anything specific here, but I tried to make this as general as I could, but still give you some sort of direction so that you can get started with this.